The China-USA Trade and Business Summit is essential to advancing a positive, constructive, and comprehensive relationship between our countries and New York State and Jiangsu. I am very pleased that Party Secretary Law shares our commitment to a sustained dialogue to enhance our shared interests. I want to acknowledge the remarkable Chinese leaders who are here with us today. Mr. Zhang Jindun, founder and president of the Sun Ying Group, which is the largest privately owned electrical appliance retailer in China. Mr. Qi Zhongrong, the founder, chairman, and CEO of Suntech Power, which is the world's largest producer of solar panels. Mr. Wang Min, the chairman of XCMG, a large construction machinery manufacturer in China. Mr. Lin Shanghun, the chairman of China-Singapore Suzhou Industrial Park Ventures. Mr. Zhang Shipei, the chairman and CEO of Far East Holding Company. Mr. Zhu Yikai, chairman of Yurun, which is the largest food processing and logistics company in Jiangsu. Mr. Ren Xingsheng, founder, chairman, and CEO of Simcere, which is the first Chinese pharmaceutical enterprise listing in the New York State Stock Exchange. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the other delegates in attendance this morning. And on behalf of Governor Cuomo, thank you for attending. Today, I am honored to salute the ties of our partnership. This year, we celebrate the 22nd anniversary of the establishment of a sister state-province relationship between New York State and Jiangsu. Over the past 22 years, we have forged a cooperative partnership that is grounded in mutual interest and mutual respect. Our relationship reflects the deepening ties between China and the United States. I'm assured of the longevity of our relationship because it is clear that we share common objectives. If we advance these objectives through cooperation, our people will benefit and the world will be a better place. Our ability to partner with each other is a prerequisite for our success. And I sincerely believe that as partners, we are poised to make even greater strides toward future cooperation in trade, investment, and educational exchanges. New York State is honored to be the home of the China-Jiangsu Economic and Trade Representative Office for the East Coast of the United States, located in our capital city of Albany. We expect that as a result of the opening of this office, trade and investment between our state and Jiangsu province will increase significantly. And the fact that your senior leadership has chosen to co-host today's summit in New York City is a definite sign of the deepening relationship that we have between Jiangsu and New York State. I hope that the delegates to today's meeting take advantage of their time in New York City, but at the same time, I would also suggest you have the opportunity to visit other areas of New York State. There are wonderful areas throughout New York State, upstate, southern tier, up the Adirondack region, that I think also create some great opportunities for our mutual interests. Whether your interests lie in renewable energy, biotech, nanotechnology, optics, and photonics, or any other sector, you will find potential business partners around our state. Governor Andrew Cuomo and Empire State Development, who is represented today by Commissioner Ken Adams, who is with us today, stand ready to introduce you to all the opportunities that await across our great state. New York State is open for business. I hope that the results of your conference today will lead to increased mutually beneficial collaboration in many sectors in the near future. And if I could add, Governor Cuomo has done a tremendous job changing the business climate in New York State. I think it's also appropriate to mention that the relationship that exists today between Jiangsu and New York State began with Governor Mario Cuomo and Matilda Cuomo, the former First Lady, who are the parents of our current governor. There is a family connection to this great relationship, which has really borne fruit for many, many years. In closing, we have what I consider to be the best governor in the United States who's going to lead a change in the business climate. And Governor Cuomo would be here today if he could. He will be at a future event to welcome the party secretary, I hope, in the future, and the delegation. But New York State is in a position now. We are changing. We want these relationships to increase, to bear fruit. We will work as hard as we can, and if myself, Ken Adams, or any of our staff on behalf of Governor Cuomo can help deepen those relationships and help facilitate much more trade and much more business investment across both our communities and countries, we will do so. So I am honored to be here representing Governor Cuomo. I would like to just wish you all a very prosperous year of the rabbit. And again, on behalf of Governor Cuomo and all of us in New York State, welcome and thank you for choosing today to have this wonderful conference. Thank you.
Director General Zhu, congratulations on your successful organization of this forum. There are many partners of it. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is proud to be here. We have a long-standing relationship with Jiangsu Province, which I'll discuss in a minute. But I'm also really proud to be here because I'm escaping the political heat in Washington, which I have to tell you is much hotter than the temperature outside of here. And I know the party secretary's heard this, but Winston Churchill, to paraphrase him, said that have faith in the American. They'll do the right thing in the end, but only when they exhaust all other remedies. And I say that because we are in the middle of a very important debate in our country about the debt. And if we don't get that right, everything else won't matter. And it's very important that these days that our politicians' attention is on dealing with our debt issues as we look to also expand economic ties around the world, and most particularly with China. Ambassador Peng, you do a great job representing your country here in New York. Congratulations. Members of the Jiangsu delegation, business leaders, it's terrific to be here with you. It's really an honor, ladies and gentlemen, for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business federation, to participate in such a prestigious forum. Lieutenant Governor Dovey, your remarks were spot on. I have to tell you that it's great to see the collaboration and cooperation between New York State and Jiangsu Province, which I know goes back many years. And I'm pleased to see that the governor and you are absolutely committed to strengthening that cooperation. I have to say that we had the opportunity to host the party secretary in Washington. I know you've had a very successful trip here to the United States. And I want to step back just for a second and put it in the broader context. This is the most important bilateral relationship the United States has. It's with China. We have many challenges in the relationship, and we should not ignore them. We should confront them in positive, constructive ways. But we also have enormous opportunities. China, since it opened up, has really transformed in many significant ways. And when it joined the World Trade Organization, the U.S.-China commercial relationship expanded quite significantly. And today, China is not only one of our largest trading partners, it is one of our largest partners on all issues that matter around the world. And whether you're dealing with energy policy, or whether you're dealing with economic issues, or geopolitical security issues, the relationship between China and the United States is critical. But as we go further, as we deepen and expand these ties, we have to look at not just the relationship between Washington and Beijing, but the improving relationship, the growth in the relationship at the subnational level. And so when the Jiangsu Party Secretary takes a week out of his time to come to the United States, he's sending a very powerful message to everyone in this room and everyone he touches. The importance of our relationship extends much greater than the relationship that exists between the two capital cities. And when we look at this relationship, we do look at the cultural component, the educational component, of course the government links that have fostered significantly over the last 20 years. But we also look at the ways that we can expand our commercial relationship. After all, we're the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We want to see more trade, we want to see more investment. Jiangsu is at the critical juncture of that. We discovered 15, 20 years ago a province in China that got it, that really understood the importance of driving innovation, the importance of intellectual property protection, the importance of creating and fostering an environment where companies could do business. And I know there are a lot of U.S. companies here today that are participating in Jiangsu province. And that exchange, series of exchanges over many years, has led to I think, a much more conducive environment two ways. And I think where we're going is not only to encourage more investment in Jiangsu province, and Mr. Party Secretary, we want our companies to invest in your country and in your province, but we want to encourage leading Chinese companies to come to the United States. And I think it's very important that we have some of the leading figures from Jiangsu province, business figures, like Dr. Shi, who will speak in a moment from Suntech, who are already engaged in this market. We want to foster the kind of collaboration in science and technology, in energy, in the environment, and many other areas where we think there are great opportunities. And it's because Jiangsu has been so bold and progressive in the way that they have not only developed their own economy, but strengthened environmental protection, fostered innovation, and frankly expanded the quality of life of its citizens, that you see so much foreign direct investment going into Jiangsu. I know you want more, but we want to also encourage that, and I have to tell you, we're very pleased at the commitment that you and others have made to create the right environment for foreign companies, to create the right intellectual property environment, and to foster, obviously, business relationships. We in the United States also have obligations. We must make sure we are open to investment from around the world. Millions of jobs in our economy depend on foreign investment in this country. And we need to talk about it more. We need not to shy away from it. And whether it's coming from China or Brazil or India, it's critical that we foster it. No one has more capital, no one has more potential than China. And if you look at Jiangsu province in particular, we see an opportunity to really help our companies here in the United States work with Chinese companies in partnership and in collaboration. And we believe that we should be very supportive of being a bridge here into the United States of investment from your country and from your province. Many of you may not realize that the Chinese investment in the United States last year reached nearly $12 billion. China's FDI in the United States in 2010 alone exceeded $5 billion. And while we know a lot about Chinese portfolio investment, many people do not know the extent of which China is rapidly expanding into our country. And I know that in New York State you would welcome, Lieutenant Governor Duffy, jobs and investment from China. So while the United States can be a complex and regulated market, we want to help Chinese companies do the right due diligence and understand how to take advantage of the opportunities in this market. And so fostering these kinds of exchanges is absolutely critical. Let me just end with 3 ways that the Chamber of Commerce, and I could name many more, is contributing here. One is, for many years, we have taken the Chinese ambassador and other officials from the Chinese government around the United States to participate in dialogues, commercial dialogues, to talk about how we can help each other expand trade and investment. In fact, Vice Mayor Zhang, who's in the audience, when he was in the Chinese embassy, participated in many of these visits. Second, we're going to do a much better job of educating the American people about investment from China. And we want to highlight, of course, companies from Jiangsu province. We have a platform at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and many other organizations do as well, to talk about the successful integration of Chinese companies into our communities, how they create jobs, how they create opportunities for our small and medium-sized businesses. And we're going to do a much better job going forward to talk about that. Third, we have facilitated very high-level dialogues. We launched one recently in China with former Vice Premier Zhang Peiyan, who, as many of you know, ran the Chinese economy years ago. This dialogue is intended to bring CEOs and government officials together to really have a candid conversation, because while I see an enormous bright future for the U.S.-China relationship, I'm not unaware of the challenges and the need to deal with and address the impediments in our relationship. So with that, let me just end by saying it's really an honor to be part of this forum. We at the Chamber have a long-standing special relationship with Jiangsu Province. It goes back for me 15 to 18 years when I was first the host of the party secretary at that time of the province. And I can assure you, it is one of the provinces in China that not only gets it, but really wants to make a difference in fostering commercial ties between our country and China. So with that, thank you for allowing me to participate in this forum. Wish all of you great success, and I hope it's a great opportunity to network as well. Take care.